Man, I am so sick of this weather. It's been rainy, cold, wet, and everything else for I don't know how many weeks now. I really just want for it to be sunny so I can get out there on my mountain bike and tear up the trails, or at least go for a nice ride on the street somewhere. But this weather is not conducive of that. So, since I'm sitting here bored, I figure I will do a video for you. So it's been a little while since I've done a video. I haven't really had anything decent to talk about, but I came across something that was incredibly exciting the other day. Microsoft is releasing the Hololens soon, with the release of Windows 10, and I don't need to tell you how revolutionary this is. Of course, there's a lot of hype behind this thing, and it may very well turn out to be absolute crap, but I've watched every video that's available about the HoloLens, and so far I'm pretty impressed. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to go out and buy the first one that comes out. I'll probably wait till the second or third version before I buy one, just so they can have time to work out some of the bugs and make things better. But I was thinking about it, and there are an infinite amount of possibilities of things that can be done with this thing. I've actually written out a list of a few things that I think would be really cool that I don't know if anybody's even thinking about yet. So with that said, this is kind of my time capsule video, so to speak. I'm going to say things that I think will happen with this type of technology, maybe not this exact technology, maybe not with Microsoft HoloLens itself. These are things that I think will happen soon with this type of technology, whether it's this exact technology or not, within the next couple of years, and definitely within the next 50 years, like without a doubt. And if it doesn't happen, I would be very surprised. Microsoft has opened a Pandora's box full of possibilities of different types of softwares and things that can be done. So here are a few things. And don't get me wrong, I love my computer. This is my setup here, by the way. For those of you who have ever wondered, which I doubt you would, this is my setup. So there are a few things that will be absolutely revolutionized by the holographic lens technology, or HoloLens, or Microsoft HoloLens, or any combination thereof. Just imagine this. You're walking down the street, downtown, whatever town you're in, and some guy walks up to you and hands you a card. There's a little card with a thing on it that possibly looks like a QR code and asks if you want to play a game. So this is the coolest game you've ever played. So of course you take the card and say yeah, and you look at this card with your HoloLens, and it asks you if you want to download a software. And of course, you probably shouldn't. Normally you wouldn't do such a thing, but for the sake of argument, let's say you do. You download this software, and with your wireless capability on your HoloLens, it downloads a game. A couple seconds later, it asks you if you want to start. You put some basic information in, and you click start, and within seconds, the entire city changes the way it looks. You look up and buildings are on fire, and the wall next to you, there's steam coming out of it, and vents and tubes and all this stuff, and you look at the road and there's holes in the road, and like potholes, things like that. There are cars turned upside down in the middle of the road. So obviously there are a lot of things that will be revolutionized by the HoloLens, gaming especially. When most people think about gaming with the HoloLens, they think about sitting there at their computer desk and looking around, and there's random things going on or whatever, or everybody knows about the Minecraft thing or whatever. But imagine this. Imagine going downtown in your city and activating a game that literally changes the entire look and feel of your city. So, like, you download this game, you open it up, and you're in downtown in a big city, and you look up, and some of the skyscrapers are on fire. You look at the ground, and there's big potholes, and there's, cars upside down in the middle of the street. There's, fog and, steam coming from tubes and walls, and, all kinds of, it looks like some sort of a cyber goth nightmare or something. And you go walking down the street, and a big ass monster jumps out from behind a dumpster in an alley. And of course you shoot it with your fake guns, however it is that you control the actual game. And you could actually go into this game and set what kind of a play area you want. Let's say 100 yards, 1,000 yards, miles, kilometers, whatever it is that you want to set it to. And you could essentially make the entire downtown area a playscape for this game. And you could have multiple people playing the game that see the exact same thing you do, and you could actually have teams against each other, performing against each other to do the same kind of things. Things like paintball would be totally revolutionized. You may not actually shoot paintball guns anymore. You may use like laser tag style guns or whatever. But you could totally change the play area. You can make it look however you want. You could, make it something out of Halo if you wanted, or any other, war game, and you would see pretty much whatever it is. I mean, you can make it to where the downtown area, any flat surface, it'll render, whatever the game is supposed to look like on these flat surfaces. Like I said, you can make buildings look like they're on fire, and all kinds of weird stuff like that, and it would automatically know what the flat surface is and where to project this image, so to speak. Okay, maybe this won't happen right out of the box, but it could definitely happen. And with a little bit of programming, well, a lot of programming, this would be entirely possible. The second thing that'll be revolutionized, oh my god, advertising. Annoying advertising. I can't even begin to. I mean, actually, I can think of exactly how advertisers would use this thing and probably will use this thing, but honestly, I don't even want to give anybody ideas as to how to use this for advertising, because I don't want to see it. But there are a few other things that would be cool that would be entirely possible with the HoloLens. Let's say you go to the mall, a fairly big size mall. We have, 3 or 4 malls here in my town, and they're all fairly large. Some are larger than others. But let's say you go to the mall, you walk in, and download this app for the mall. It asks you more or less where you want to go, what you want to do, what kind of things you're looking for, and it could actually generate a map of how to get from where you are to those stores, the easiest possible route. It would tell you, it's like you're in JCPenney's, you basically walk this way, go over here, go up the stairs, go over there, and then you're at whatever store, Frederick's or whatever. And then you go in there and buy your stuff, and it'll tell you where the next thing is. And along the way, this is the cool part. As you're walking past each store, instead of looking up to see what the name of the store is, you could have a little pop-up window that comes out of the store in front of your face and says the name of the store and points to that store. Or you could actually have a holographic person that pops up as you walk by, and tells you about the sales and things like that. Basically a barker telling you to go into the store. They can tell you about different sales. It can tell you about promotions, products, and other things like that. You could have little pop-up windows that show 20% off, 10% off, and whatever kind of advertising you wanted for that store. But the coolest thing would definitely be the holographic people standing out front telling you various things, or answering questions for you, or or whatever. they could actually change the entire look and feel of the mall, you know, for holidays and things like that. I mean, obviously they, you know, most malls, like around Christmas time, will, you know, decorate. They'll put a big Christmas tree and all these lights and all these things like that. You could do that as well, but you could also enhance the look of the mall with the HoloLens. I mean, you could have, you know, snowflakes falling out of the sky, and, you know, reindeer flying around up in the, you know, rafters, and, you know, little elves, you know, tiny little elves running around on the ground, and, you know, all kinds of stuff, and candy canes, you know, falling, you know, from the air, and, you know, who knows what, really. I mean, the sky is the limit for different things that they have. It's limited only to their creativity, and basically, you know, you could do that. You could do that anywhere. You can do that downtown. You can do that in malls. You can do that in stores. You know, so there's definitely a lot of different things you could do there. Halloween would be a really cool holiday with a HoloLens. There's all kinds of things you could do. You know, haunted houses. You could do some seriously cool stuff with a haunted house on a HoloLens. You know, you walk into a place and there's like zombies crawling out of the floor, and, you know, there's who knows what, you know, bats flying around. So these are all real world things. You know, the other thing is too, along the lines of what I just said, you could go into a bar, and the bar could, you know, basically be white walls. And, you know, you walk into this bar and you download the app for that bar, and it would change however they decided to make it. I mean, you could walk in and it's a forest if you wanted, or, you know, some sort of industrial theme, or, you know, wooded area, or it could be a lodge, or, you know, who knows what. And obviously they don't look exactly real. It's not, you know, that great of technology yet. It will be eventually, but, you know, still, it's good enough to where it looks cool, it's entertaining, but it doesn't necessarily, you know, trick your brain into thinking it's reality. So if you are walking down the street and you see a car, you know it's an actual car, not a holographic car, you know, things like that. So there's definitely a degree of separation there, and it will be for a very long time. So a few other things that will definitely be revolutionized with holographic technology. You know, obviously, you know, I've mentioned a few things that would happen to change real life scenarios and real life places, but there's the obvious, you know, that some people don't like going outside, and more people are becoming reclusive. More and more people have an online life, more so than a real world life, and will continue down that road. There are games like Second Life, which actually I don't think Second Life is nearly as popular as it was when I first started hearing about it. No, I used to play it, but last time I got on it a couple of years ago, it was pretty much just, you know, random people from foreign countries who were, you know, sad cases of human beings, basically. I don't really know how to describe it, but oh man, that's a whole other story altogether. But, you know, anyway, I don't think that game is nearly as popular as it used to be. But other games like Warcraft are very similar to that, where people get on there and they are that persona, they are those people that, you know, they are their avatar or whatever, and they would definitely like to live that life more so than their own life the majority of the time. Obviously, some people, Warcraft isn't nearly as bad about that. You know, Warcraft is just a bunch of kids or whoever, you know, going and playing a game, hanging out with their friends. But, you know, like something like Second Life, it really is a second life. And things like the HoloLens, I think, will greatly aid in that, which I don't know if that's for the better or worse. But you can have, you know, virtual bars and virtual hangouts and, you know, things of that nature, you know, to where you can go into this online community and be your persona, so to speak. You know, just like in real life, you could probably, you know, project an avatar over your own body to where other HoloLens users can see it. So, you know, cosplay, things like that, you know, people wearing costumes, you don't really have to wear a costume. You just put your avatar over your own body, and people who are wearing HoloLenses could potentially see that. And again, I'm not saying that any of this stuff will happen right out of the box. As soon as you buy your, you know, HoloLens, this will happen, and it's not the case. I mean, people will have to develop these things and program these things to make them happen. But they will happen. That's my point of this. Yeah, I don't know. I can go on for hours about the whole virtual world and how it's going to change things there, and disassociate, you know, people with humanity. But it's not really worth going into in this video. But another thing that will be revolutionized is movies. Movies will absolutely be revolutionized, and this is one of those things I'm going to predict as happening, and I can guarantee it is going to happen. In fact, I would bet somebody money on this that it will happen within the next couple of years, and it's absolutely ridiculous that I can't be a part of it. I mean, I'm sure I could, and I probably can if I start doing it now, but I know myself, and I know that I have too many other things on my plate to even start thinking about that. Plus, I don't have nearly enough of a budget to do what I'm thinking about. But movies will absolutely be revolutionized. Think about the movie Avatar, which was mostly, you know, okay, it was 99% computer generated. It used real people to make the movie, real actors to make the movie for the most part, but it was all computer generated CGI. Oh god, it really needs to get warmer outside so I can go do something. Anyway, so think about Avatar. It was mostly CGI, but you know, the best that we have right now is Avatar in 3D. I'm using that as an example because it was, you know, action-packed, it was cinematically beautiful, and, you know, whatever you think about the movie and the plot, the graphics were amazing. There are a lot of movies like that now, but this is the best one I can think of right now. So we have the 3D version of Avatar, which is pretty cool, but you're still looking at a little box, a little screen, or, well, a big screen, but, you know, the further back you are, the smaller it looks. So you're looking at the screen in this defined area. Now think about this. You go into a room, you turn the lights off, you're in a pitch black room, in the middle of it, in a chair, and you start a movie, let's say Avatar, and you look forward and you see the opening scene. You can turn around and you're actually in the movie, a 360-degree view inside the movie. In front of you are the main characters, you know, in the opening, you know, scene of the movie or whatever. You know, so in a fight scene, you're seeing things, you know, flying over your head. There's bullets whizzing past your head. You know, there's arrows whizzing past your head. You know, when the guy jumps off of the cliff to go, you know, grab his pterodactyl or whatever the fuck it was, you're actually falling off the cliff, and you can, you know, behind him, and you can look up, down, left, right, and see the cliff face falling behind you or under you, and the ground coming at you from the ground up, and you're actually in this, immersed in this with him. When he hits, you know, lands on the bird, you know, you actually, you know, the whole, everything, you know, jumps, and I guarantee you'll feel this too. You know, you're actually part of the movie. That will happen. That will absolutely fucking happen, and it will happen soon. You know, not necessarily Avatar per se, but a movie or movies will very soon come out that this is going to be the case. Either for this or Oculus or any of these other virtual reality type things. And I don't know why the hell it hasn't been done yet. The only guess I can have is budget and lack of reason. But as soon as a lot of people have, you know, either holographic or virtual reality type apparatuses, apparati, you know, once you know, holographic or virtual reality type machines, so to speak, are readily available and a lot of people have them, then this will absolutely be the case. But I will tell you that having a movie like that now, well, maybe not right now because the Microsoft thing hasn't actually been released yet, but upon the release of the HoloLens, for example, if a movie were to be released simultaneously that took full advantage of that hardware, then it would definitely skyrocket the hell out of the sales of both, not only the movie but the HoloLens as well. And if the HoloLens proved to be worth a shit, then it would definitely definitely skyrocket sales. So what I would do is wait until the HoloLens proves to be good, and then, you know, basically release a movie that is capable of, you know, being used for a 360-degree viewing platform. So anyway, this is probably one of the most boring fucking videos I have ever done in the history of boring-ass videos that I have done. But honestly, after sitting in the house, well, I mean, I did just get back from vacation, but this is the first day back from vacation, and I can't do a goddamn thing. Because it's raining, it is cold, it is wet, and I am absolutely sick of sitting in the house day after day after day after day after day. I don't know, I need to figure something out, I guess. Or I just need to get an umbrella and go for a fucking walk. I don't care, I need to get out of here, I need to do something. Camaro's broke down, that's why I'm stranded here. I can't go anywhere because my car is broke down. And because it's been broke down, I don't have insurance on it. You know, no use in paying for insurance on a car that it doesn't run, basically. And I was borrowing a car, but I had to give that car back. So I'm basically stranded here until I can come up with a little more money to fix it. And by a little bit, I mean $50 some odd per ignition coil, and I have 8 ignition coils in that fucking Camaro. So anyway, yeah, a lot of money. A lot of money. Microsoft is releasing the whatever the fuck it's called. Microsoft is releasing the Holoband. What is that thing called? I've watched every video that's currently available about the HoloLens. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my God, my lips are chapped like crazy. Yeah. Been up north. Anyway. So a few different things that will be absolutely revolutionized. A few things that will be absolutely revolutionized with the HoloLens, aside from gaming. Well, no, not aside from gaming, because that's what I'm about to talk about. This is one of those things where I'm going to... This is one of those things... Crap, no, stop. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. What the hell? Very eloquently said.